but they wanted to keep the unit closed. And so the air actually then flows into that huge balloon under that dome and inflates the balloon.
Wow.
And when you're in the tunnel between the two, you can feel the air
like a vacuum?
rushing. Yeah, it's blowing through.
Okay, so which part is actually the balloon?
It's inside that dome.
Oh, okay.
And there's a 40,000-pound cap of cement, concrete, that sits on top of the balloon.
Wow.
That's how much force is blowing that
Crazy.
hot air out. And then at night it cools. And as it cools, the air flows back into the biosphere. Yeah, that's the triangles and the structure is all a Buckminster Fuller concept. He wanted the most efficient way to enclose a volume. And he came to the tetrahedron, which is a pyramid. And you can see that the whole structure inside there is all pyramids, tetrahedrons.
Wow.
So it's totally mind-boggling. They built all of it, right? This sealant that they put here with thousands of these windows, each one of these windows is 2 panels, and there's a film between them to make sure that they don't crack. But the biosphereans themselves actually built a lot of the structure, and you can see it's just all these pyramids, all these tetrahedrons, and each one is just made from this very simple, right? All the struts are the same. There's just a straight pole with these little flanges on the ends, and you can bolt them together. And some of them have angles, but most of them very similar.
Living there for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, you know, so there were some problems, like people didn't get along or whatever, and you know, the press really made a big deal of it, much more than they should have.
Right.
And it's not a bad experiment. You know, just put people in this thing and, you know, see if they can live in the same pyramid structures inside the roof, the same kinds of windows, and under that is a small lung, just like the huge lung, the 2 lungs for the big structure. So this was what was called the test module. It was built in 86, 88, and they sealed, you know, one person in here for the first test for a week or so, and he lived in there with the plants and everything, and the lung worked, it inflated and deflated, and then they just abandoned it. They said, okay, it works, the principle works, now we're going to build the big one.
Wow.
And maybe that's when you came.
So it was kind of the prototype.
Parts of it, yeah. That was,
yeah.
There's a hallway that goes to the crew quarters, and then the dining room, and but this is going to be all experimentation. So these will be plants. We'll put a second floor. It's okay. There'll be a second floor here, and more experiments going on as well. So it's basically a sealed greenhouse.
Wow.
And you can actually kind of see, so this is the hole that goes to the lung, and you can occasionally see the lung is breathing. See it?
Yes, I do.
So
Is that a
now
monster in there? There's no like.
Some air is now gone into there and now coming back. So, yeah,
So
this
door kind of puts a whole new meaning to quarantine.
Yeah, that's it. When you're locked in, it's a submarine action. This is the lung, and when the hot air in the test module expands with the daylight and heat, if that air didn't go anywhere, it'd actually expand and blow out the windows. And so instead the air goes through a passage underneath into the lung, and there's a big balloon inside here.
Whoa.
And it's hard to understand the balloon, but I'll show you.
Kind of like the Dharma Initiative.
Yeah. You see the black stuff. The black sheets kind of hanging down. You can kind of see it if you look just here. This is totally passive. It just sits here. And
so no electricity has to be used to force it up?
No.
Just pressure?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
that,
just
under pressure?
Just a little volume in there, and it sits on top of it. So if you lifted that cap, you would have those black sides, they would come up like a dome like this.
Okay, I can see.
With the cap on top. That's how much air, or how...
That's why you need all this room here, right?
Yeah. That whole disc lifts up. Totally mind-boggling.
Wow.
And then at night...
Just from the pressure?
Just from the heat.